Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And for those of you who missed it, we had a very interesting live stream earlier this evening. It's in the archives on this channel, on the Loving Life channel. I had Willem Petzer on, and I had Klipkop, both YouTubers. And we were talking about the state of South Africa and what's going on. And there were some very interesting comments and relevant comments that were raised by both people. And I just want to thank them for being part of the live stream. Now, one of the things that we didn't cover is what's happening to industry in South Africa when it comes to these forums, these black forums that are going in and demanding 30% of a contract without doing anything, basically. They just, it's protection money. You know, the old protection money scam? Well, these forums started off invading construction sites in KwaZulu-Natal, demanding 30% of the contract work. Then it spread to Gauteng, and now it has gone countrywide. The tactic is working, and many contractors simply pay off the gangs rather than have building work disrupted. Sometimes they employed the locals, often at extortionate rates. They became known as the construction mafia, though they prefer to be called business forums. The business model is so successful that it is now replicated across the country in different sectors of the economy, as local community groups now move in on recently completed shopping and business centres, demanding to be employed in various roles. Many of the gangs are armed and threatening, demanding the new businesses employ locals rather than trained personnel from outside the area. Well, you know where that's going, don't you? All of this stems from new regulations to the Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act, which allows 30% of all contract value on state construction contracts to be allocated to certain designated groups, including black-owned SMEs, or small and medium-sized enterprises. The regulations do not apply to private sector construction contracts, but this has not deterred the local forums. Virtually every major construction site in KwaZulu-Natal has reportedly been affected by the forums. Peter Barnard, a partner of Cox Yates Attorneys, has been involved in about 40 cases involving business forums, and, when asked by clients, has gone to court and won interdicts against more than 30 of them, preventing them from disrupting site activities. What is alarming, he says, is that the business forum model has spread to other sectors. It's no longer just happening in construction. It's happening across the country and in many different sectors of the economy. I handled one case in the Eastern Cape last week where a major state-run project has been stopped for over a month by local groups demanding to be employed on the site. All that happens is the local community, which would benefit from the hospital, ultimately suffers. What has made the situation worse is that managers of the construction sites that have been targeted often end up paying off the business forums to make them go away, or hiring some of their members under duress, which only serves to encourage this kind of extortion. These groups are now demanding to be employed as refuse collectors or as tellers in new shopping centres. Barnard says broadly 4 groupings are involved: the MK Veterans Association, taxi associations, business forums, and local communities. He says the solution is far more proactive policing and greater clarity from Parliament around regulations over the 30% set aside for SMMEs, as well as a unified approach and front from contractors and business owners. Things got heated last week at the Master Builders Congress at Emperor's Palace near OR Tambo International Airport, when representatives of the construction sector accused the police of doing little to solve the spread of crime on building sites. Gregory Mofokeng, CEO of the Black Business Council in the Built Environment, says contractors need to absorb as many South Africans as possible. If not, the youth will create chaos here, not in Mozambique or Zimbabwe. We were not getting attention from our leaders. Malusi Zondi, president of the Forum for Radical Economic Transformation, says forums are not a new development in the economic life of the country. He said, "We formed business forums 5 years back because we were not getting attention from our leaders. We formed these forums not because we are criminals, but because government is failing to enforce contract obligations." Zondi admitted that business forums had done wrong, but added that they are not the enemy. Sector education training authorities are returning money to Treasury every year rather than training youth, as government had sworn to do. Contractors are abiding by the regulations, requiring 30% subcontracting to SMEs, but still their construction sites are being disrupted by rogue elements. Where there are disruptions, the police don't act. I've not heard of one case of prosecutions of illegal disruptions. We expect arrests, but of course nobody ever gets arrested in South Africa, unless it's a white farmer defending himself in his farm and shoots someone after he's been threatened with a knife. Then he's been charged for murder. That's how ridiculous the situation is. German Mfalele of the Construction Industry Development Board told the Congress that site invasions are exacerbated by a shrinking economy and rising unemployment. The problem is further aggravated by a misrepresentation of who qualifies for state subcontracting work. Some people are trying to say it is for locals. That's not the case. It's national. Aubrey Chalata, president of the National African Federation for the Building Industry, pointed to some successful engagements between the public sector, companies and local business forums. One such engagement in Port Edward in KwaZulu-Natal resulted in a practical solution with an agreement to train local youth and prepare them for work in the formal construction sector. Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkangudzazi of the SA Police Services said the police are constitutionally mandated to prevent crime, but they can't do it alone. In construction, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, we ask if cases have been reported to the police. We have taken a number of cases to court for prosecution. So there you go. Not only do you have looting, but you have basically extortion happening right across the board in South Africa if you're a business. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, stay safe. Bye for now.